everything you needed done was done for you. Now you do it on your own, but you find you're all alone. What can you do? You and me. Walk on, walk on, walk on, 'cause you can't go back now. You know there will be days when you're so tired that you can't take another step. The night will have no stars, and you'll think you've gone as far as you will ever get. But you and me, walk on, walk on, walk on, 'cause you can't go back now. And yeah, go where you wanna go. Be what you wanna be. If you ever turn around, you'll see me. I can't really say why everybody wishes they were somewhere else, but in the end the only steps that matter are the ones you take all by yourself. And you and me, walk on, walk on, walk on. Yeah, you and me, walk on, walk on, walk on, 'cause you can't go back now. Walk on, walk on, walk on, you can't go back now.
That's the Weepies, of course. Well, not of course, you may not know that, but if you know them, you know that sounds like them. The Weepies, that's from an album called Hideaway, and that's a track called Can't Go Back Now. Good morning, Gerald Michael Anderson here on this fine Wednesday. How cold it is today. So cold.
It's not so cold.
It's so cold. I was never as cold in my life as I was this morning coming in here. What's wrong with this country? Last week we were out in our figures. Last week I was out in my backyard with my shirt off, and now I'm freezing. What is wrong with this place? The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678. The email address is gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk, and the text messaging service is 81771. We had a little meeting this morning. We decided that we'd have a topic for today.
Yes, what's that? No, we will not. No! I just realised what we were talking about. Stop that.
Wouldn't you love to talk about that?
No, you would not.
I would love to talk about that.
I know you would, but...
We were talking about something this morning that we noticed about the life that we live. Something that no longer is said. Something that no longer is talked about. Something that no longer is thought about or contemplated. And something that maybe 10, 15 years ago was a commonplace. And it's no longer on the radar. And nobody talk about it at all. It's gone completely, as if it never existed. And it says a lot about the moral turpitude of our people that this has happened. And we discovered that maybe perhaps we share the same views on this. And we would dearly love to talk about it, but we can't. We can't talk about it.
No. Stop it now.
Someday, the day will come when we'll be able to talk about that. You know, I'm going to pioneer some stuff. I've always been a person that's thrusting forward and breaking the barriers, you know, going beyond that envelope. I think it's time that we started to discuss things that other people won't talk about. Even Nolan stopped doing it. Nolan used to talk about anything, and now he's afraid. But I'm not afraid. I'm one of the pioneers. I haven't drunk for weeks. Anyway, we can't talk about that. It's the people aren't ready for it. Maybe perhaps the last programme that we ever do. We talk about that. Look at all the things. See, the last programme that I do or you do, you might be sacked before me, or you might die.
Yeah.
I'm worried about you. You know, you mightn't last. I think I'm okay. I might last for a while.
I think I'm doing all right.
I think you might die before me.
I think I'm doing all right.
I think you might die before we're sacked. What would you do if you died before I was sacked?
What would I do? What would I do if I died
before I was sacked? Yeah.
If I died before you were sacked?
Yeah.
What would I do?
Yeah. What would you do? You'd probably just lie there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I should think so.
But what would I do? Would I get somebody else to talk to?
No.
I'd get somebody else.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
I would.
You wouldn't.
Get a replacement person. I need to talk to somebody in the morning. I need to talk to people. I can't sit here on my own. I need to talk to somebody. What would happen if you die? I would miss you. I'd get somebody else. I put an ad in the paper. Talker wanted.
No, listener.
Man who hates me wanted. You hate me, don't you?
Do you know what I hate?
Me.
No.
What? Go
I
on.
hate to see people.
I hate to see the evening sun go down.
I hate to see people driving cars and smoking.
Why, what possible damage does that do?
I don't like it. I think it.
You don't like it?
No, it doesn't
What
look
possible
right.
harm can it do anybody, apart from the person who's probably smoking?
I hate
And
to
whoever's
say
in the
this.
car maybe inhaling secondary smoke.
No,
Because
no,
after all, when
I'm
you
not-
smoke in company, you're not only harming yourself,
No.
you're harming others.
I'm not going down that road about damage.
You think it looks
That's not even
slovenly?
a person on their own in a car. Which
think it-
they're
it,
entitled to do? But it looks horrible.
What do you mean it looks horrible?
It looks horrible.
I bet you're a type of person you don't like to see women drinking pints either.
I already discussed that. We discussed that last
No, but
week.
I
I was waiting to come out onto the main.
Do you know what I
road.
love? I love seeing a woman with a bottle of beer in her hand. I love that.
Well, okay.
I love sitting. See, if I was sitting in a bar at a table, with my company, and I looked up at the bar and I saw a well-dressed, fine-looking woman standing with a bottle of Corona, I'd be turned on.
No, it doesn't do anything for me.
Well, may Janet snigger.
I know. We know where you're going, but Janet
I'm
and
not
I are
going
ignoring
anywhere.
it. We're ignoring
Look, you're
it.
pure as the driven snow. What's wrong with you
A
people?
man, as I was waiting to pull out onto the road, there's a man coming driving his car, and he he got in his car. I would say about 5 minutes less than before he passed me.
Yes.
And he was still all blustery and all that fixing.
Coughing, you mean?
Adjusting himself. But he had this cigarette, and he was coming up a slight hill, you see. So he was only possibly in second gear, and he was getting himself started. Cigarette in his mouth, and while the cigarette in his mouth, he was coughing.
And with a cigarette in the mouth.
And then he eventually got the cigarette out, and he gave a good cough into the window out in my direction. And the fag went back in his mouth again, and off he went. I says,
That's a life choice, Sean.
"You had any idea what you look like, Mister?"
So who cares what he looks like? It's a life choice. He chooses to live like that. He's probably enjoying himself. I used to be one of those people. I used to always do that. I always smoked in a car. Do you know what I used to do? I was a great smoker. And I told you about this before, and people barely believe this. When I used to wake up in the middle of the night, about 3 or 4 in the morning, as you do, when you take a little walk down the stairs and you come up again and get back into bed, I used to smoke 2 and 3 cigarettes and then go back to sleep again. That's how big a smoker I was. And for me to even worry about smoking in a car, of course I smoked in the car constantly. As a matter of fact, I used to plan my journeys. Now, for instance, if I was driving,
yes.
if I was driving from Derry to Belfast, okay, I would have maybe 2 little, what do you call those little chomp things? Little kind of chocolatey, toffee things?
Yeah, with the holes in them.
No, no holes in them.
Yes, they are.
Are there?
Yeah.
Really? Anyway, I never noticed that. It's just a little bar of toffee with chocolate-coated
Not-
toffee. There's
No,
no
not
hole in
Twix.
them.
No, Jan thinks it's Twix. No, what?
I said chomp.
Oh, twists.
Chomp.
No, it's a chump bar he buys. They're only 10p.
Chomp, I
He
said.
buys them.
Chomp.
Chump.
Chomp.
C-H-O-M-P.
C-H-O-M-P.
See, it's a chump. A
Very
chump
nice
bar.
indeed. They're great because they're small, and there's no big deal. So I used to get 2 of them and I used to put them on the driver's seat if there was nobody on the driver's seat, of course. And do you know what they'd be for? Mm-hmm. I would smoke 7 cigarettes between Derry and Belfast. I had that organised. So after the third cigarette, the third cigarette would be. I'd smoke my third cigarette about Toom, right? And then I would have one of the chomps. You see? And then I'd wait until I had, the nice toffee and chocolatey thing in your mouth. And then you'd wait, and then you'd light another cigarette, and then you'd smoke 3 in quick succession. And then when you got to Belfast, you're coming down into wherever you go into, and I'd have another chomp then to take away the old smoke. And I get out of the car having smoked 7 cigarettes and eaten 2 chomps. And you ask me why I'm still alive?
Yeah.
How do I look so good now after living a life like that? Anyway, never mind that. There are people out there who need help. A gentleman called Joanna writes to me and said, "We need your help. We found this wee fella at the gates of Stormont, Massey Avenue, tonight, April the 3rd, around 11 p.m. That's just last night, around 11 p.m. And a photograph is enclosed of a lovely wee dog. He is well fed and is wearing a collar, but no tag. He's got those puppy eyes, those kind of eyes like that, looking at you. He was cold and seemed lost and frightened and looking for its owner. After getting a few biscuits from us, we felt we couldn't leave him there, so big-hearted Green MLA Stephen Agnew has taken him home with him and fed him. There we are. a representative of the people taking home pets and feeding them. We really want to reunite this dog with his owner, as he is a lovely natured wee thing. If anyone has any info about who might own him, please ask them to get in touch with us on the email or numbers below. I have all this stuff. Hope you're able to help reunite this wee man with his owner. Thank you for your support and interest. Now, it's a nice little dog, but I don't know what kind of a little dog it is. It's probably of mixed parentage, as indeed many of us are. It's a little mongrel, I suppose.
Do you remember this line? Now, when you mentioned about the wee dog having no food and being cold, do you remember this? We have no food and we're cold, but God's good, we are told. The Lord will provide. So in pain and upset, we must never forget He's by our side. Do you remember that, Dee?
Sounds like a hymn we would sing.
No. Right.
Do you have a melody to go with that?
We have no food and we're cold, but God's good, we are told. Da, 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 da. Though in pain and upset, we must never forget He's by our side. And then it was hallelujah. Janice feeling my head.
I see
no,
that.
but he should remember this.
I don't remember that.
You do remember it.
Don't shout at me.
Sorry.
I don't remember it, no.
We have no food and we're cold, but God's good, we are told.
Sounds
The
like
Lord will provide.
sounds
Though in
like the
pain and upset, we must never forget He's by our side. Hallelujah.
Sounds like a plebeian paean. What is it?
You played that.
I played that. Would you tell me what it is? A creditable imitation of a bass guitar. But
It's
tell
not
me
bad,
what that
wasn't it?
is.
It was you playing the bass.
What's the song?
I was a drunken guard. I was up on the stage. I was singing it and you were playing.
It's a little known secret. A little known secret. The first time I ever saw you, really.
Yes.
It was a musical. What was it called? Simon?
Yes.
A very good friend of ours, T.C. Doherty, a man who's still knocking about, a man, very talented man. Yes. And he wrote a number of musicals, one of which was,
Joan of Arc was
very well received.
Yeah.
And but, because of one thing and another, it didn't really work. But, it was exceptionally good. But he wrote another one called Simon. And I was in the orchestra pit playing the bass along with the band who were accompanying the people on stage, and you were one of the people on stage.
Yes.
You were a prison guard, weren't you?
Yes, right. Yeah. I had to dance every night for you.
I
and you
remember
were
looking
looking up.
Anyway, never mind that. On today's show, yesterday, of course, you played a tune called Jimmy Selling Watches by Rory and the Island. Yeah, Rory Gallagher from the Revs. I'm going to play a little track from the Revs now shortly, because Rory Gallagher is coming into the studio next Thursday. Going to have a nice little day next Thursday. That's my last day for a few weeks. Hear tapping?
Yes.
Rory's going to come in, and Ben Sands is coming in. So a nice wee contrast to music. Two good singer-songwriters will be in next Thursday, Thursday the 12th. Not this Thursday, but next week. I mentioned that you intend to visit Rory on your impending visit to Lanzarote. I think I might, but then again, I probably
won't.
I know I won't.
I know you won't.
I know I won't. Because we said, I'd come in and see you, but you never do. No, I'm not going.
You know what I was happy about this year?
What?
That April Fool's Day was on a Sunday.
Yeah, nobody could do anything.
People could. There was no
people couldn't
pranks
do
going
anything
on.
on you, and there was no japes on the radio.
No,
Because you can't have japes on a Sunday.
No.
Father Darcy wouldn't have that. I like you, I'm a bit of a Lanzarotic. And I'm pretty confident that I've witnessed the subject of the aforementioned song in action. Well, that's good to explain. His name is Jimmy Murphy. And from memory, he visits the Boran Bar in Puerto del Carmen. That's the old town.
Are you anywhere near there?
No.
Are you anywhere near the airport?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm on the other end of the island.
Oh.
On a nightly basis, where he entertains the drunken Irish tourists, you must have been there, with a variety of folk and, pre the new political dispensation, rebel songs, before he proceeds to lighten their wallets in exchange for a selection of jewellery and watches of questionable origin and authenticity. Apparently he sells a great, what do you call those expensive watches? Rolex. Apparently he sells a great fake Rolex. Apparently it's one of the best fake Rolexes there is. The Boron is quite a small pub just up a hill off the main strip. You know that, climbing up. It's easy to climb up.
Where are we now?
Puerto del Carmen.
Right.
All the hills are up on the one
Yes.
side. All the pubs are on the hills where the guys can roll down to their hotels.
What do you call the other part?
Behind one of the big Chinese restaurants, which is probably called the Slow Boat to China.
What do you call the other part?
What?
Puerto de Carmen, and what do you call the other part?
Well,
then?
it's a city called. It's a
Is it
town
one-
called Puerto del
is
Carmen.
it- but do you ever? Have you ever been there?
Yes, I have.
Well, if you ever go there again,
Unlikely.
walk out to the airport. Walk out along the beach, out to the airport.
Yes.
And sit at the perimeter of the airport.
Yes.
It's the most amazing sight. The airplanes coming and landing. It's you feel as though you can reach up and touch them. They just barely get over the perimeter wire, and you're sitting on the beach on the rocks, and you can see the people inside the planes, and you see the captain, and you see the big wheels and all. It's absolutely amazing.
Is that what you do in your holidays? Watch the planes
And
coming
me
in?
and Joe went for a walk, and we used to go out there and watch the planes landing.
worry
Here,
about you.
tapping.
I know. I hear the tapping. William Gregg, of course, who does great work for charity, wants to come on and say thanks to people. Apparently, people have been very good. The support they've given me over the past 7 years and 5 months to Willie's Orphan Fund. So if Willie rings up, will you put him on? Willie Gregg, if you're listening, give us a ring, because it's a good idea to thank people, because I know the great work that you do. Hear me becoming normal then? Did you hear me becoming normal?
We heard you.
Like an ordinary person? Being a good person, like I know I am behind everything. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry, excuse me, something caught my throat. Sorry about that. Yes, can we help you at all?
Hello, Gerry.
Yes?
This is David from Belfast.
Yes, David.
I'd like to thank you for recommending a beautiful holiday destination,
Where was that?
Puerto Palencia.
Oh, did you go there?
Yes.
Mallorca. Very,
Yes.
very nice indeed.
And we're going back next year again.
Way up in the north of the island, yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is really special, yeah.
And what hotel did you stay in?
Oh, I can't remember.
Well, we stayed in a hotel called the Hotel Romantic.
Yeah. Oh,
And it was like something out of Faulty Towers.
not great then.
No pool.
Well,
Good sea view. So we're going back this year again. And you know who we met last year?
Jackie Fullerton.
No.
Who?
Jim Rogers.
When do we want it now? When do we want a holiday? When do we want it now? Did you really?
Yes, we did.
And I bet you was good crack, was he? Was he nice?
Well, it was just a bypass, and he was with his wife, and they were having their lunch or something like that.
That's okay, yeah.
We're going to another hotel called Hotel Ula.
Ula. Well, you see, it's nice up there. Lovely, lovely beach.
It is.
So that's why there's no pool. You don't need a pool.
If you can get near it.
You don't. Well, you know, it's quite.
And round the harbour's beautiful.
Lovely. And when are you going?
We're
Summer?
going on June.
June's a lovely time to go. It's the best time to go. Not too many beer monsters, and it's not too
Oh, well,
hot.
no, I don't think it applies. It's more the yachting fraternity.
Families and yachting fraternity.
Yes. Oh, there's plenty of them comes in, all right.
There's a lovely place on the west of the island called
Oh, it's beautiful.
Deya, Deya. Did you ever go there?
Beautiful country.
Oh, unbelievable. As
Well,
Jackie
I'd like to
Fullerton
thank
once
you
said.
for recommending it.
As Jackie Fullerton
You
once
should be
said.
a travel agency.
I should have been.
I heard you talking about Lanzarote and all that.
Well, Lanzarote's kind of weird. I don't like it all that much, but there's only one.
That's where all the heads go.
No, you have to keep away from Puerto del Carmen.
Yeah, I know
That's where Sean goes.
it's
Yeah, you
stinking.
have to keep away from there. There's a lovely.
There's another wee place. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to remember any of it.
Oh, all right.
But it's in Ibiza.
Yeah. That's at the Santa Eulalia. That's a nudist beach.
No.
That's where I go.
That's where it all hangs out.
I'm a spectator.
Escanal, Gerry.
Yes, indeed, yes. I've
It's
been there.
beautiful too.
Lovely. Hey, listen, we better stop this. People will be getting jealous.
No, we will not.
There's people sitting at home with no money and they're not
Except on
going
the
anywhere.
weddings, you get all the hippies and the freaks coming for the market.
Oh, I love that.
Have you ever been to Escanal?
Well, I'll tell you. Let me tell you. The very first time I ever went to Ibiza, and you're not going to believe this, was in 1971. Before anybody went.
Was there any faulty towers then?
No, there wasn't. No, it was actually a place where that Ibiza was basically. Ibiza was a place where I suppose retired Indian kind of commissioners and the British Raj went. Because
Right.
they had nice little...
The yachting fraternity.
Well, not really, no. See, it was very inexpensive to live there, and there's always a little breeze in the Balearic Islands. There's always a little breeze, constantly. It's always hot. It gets hot enough, but there's always a breeze a very cooling
But the
breeze.
best about Escanal, You can get on one of the local buses, and it costs you about £1.
That's right, yeah.
And you can go anywhere in the whole island.
It's the same everywhere in the whole world except
Yeah.
here.
And over here you pay £2 just to go 2 stops.
I mean, it's amazing. The best place ever is Italy. In Italy, you can get there's a little train from Sorrento to Naples, which is like 20 miles or something like that. And you get on the plane.
No, don't like Italy.
No, you get. Oh, Italy's the best place in the world.
I just like somewhere where about 2.5 hours on a plane's long enough.
Do you know what I always say to people? If anybody ever says to me, where would I go on holidays? I always say to them the same thing. Find out where the Italians go and go there. Because the Italians...
Probably go to Lanzarote.
No. Wherever the Italians go there. No, don't go to Lanzarote.
Where do they go then?
Well, the Italians go to certain places in Italy.
Well, where do they go?
And I heard you talking about Porta del Carmen.
You tell us.
I don't want to tell you because then
Why
you'll
not?
all be going.
You tell us where they go.
I know where they go.
Well, tell us.
I'm not telling you where they
Why
go.
not?
Because everybody else will go then.
And what?
There's one particular place in Italy where all the people from Milan and Bologna go. And there's no English people, there's no Irish people, there's no Scottish people, it's all Italians.
Oh, there
and
has to be an
Only
Irish
you.
man goes there.
Only you. You're the only one that discovered it.
No, I'm not the only one. But
Well, tell us.
It's not in any of the guidebooks.
Tell us.
No, I'm not telling you. It's not in any of the travel books. Because they keep it for the
Janet's
Italian people.
been there.
Bitch.
Oh,
She's everywhere.
Janet's been there.
Tell her not to say where it is. Listen, we're going now. Goodbye.
right, Jerry.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much again.
Positania.
Bye. What?
Positana.
Wise up. It's not even called that. And that's the wrong place anyway. That's down near Naples. I'm talking about somewhere near somewhere else. Milan, Bologna, up in the north.
Flew in from Miami Beach, BOAC. Didn't get to bed last night. On the way, the paper bag was on my knee. Man, I had a dreadful flight. I'm back in the USSR. You don't know how lucky you are, boys. Back in the USSR. Been away so long I hardly knew the place. Gee, it's good to be back home. Leave it till tomorrow to unpack my case. Honey, disconnect the phone. I'm back in the USSR. You don't know how lucky you are, boys. Back in the US, back in the US, back in the USSR. Well, Ukraine girls really knocked me out. They leave the West behind. And Moscow girls make me sing and shout. And Georgia's always on my mind. Ooh, show me round your snow peak mountains way down south. Take me to your daddy's farm. Let me hear you ballad like it's ringing out. Come and keep your comrade warm. I'm back in the USSR. You don't know how lucky you are, boys. Back in the US, back in the US, back in the USSR. Really knock me out. They leave the West behind. And Moscow girls make me sing and shout. And Georgia's always on my mind. Show me round your snow peak mountains way down south. Take me to your daddy's farm. Let me hear you ballad like it's ringing out. Come and keep your comrade warm. Back in the USSR. Don't know how lucky you are, boys. Back in the US, back in the US, back in the USSR.
That's Beetlegrass. What a fantastic band they are. Of course, they cover Beatles songs, of course, but in a peculiar way. That's back in the USSR. That's called Beetlegrass Special Edition, featuring George Anderson on bass. There's someone on the line here. Hello, good morning. Why is
Hello.
it- yes, good morning. Who's that?
Hello. This is Gerry, Gerry.
Yes, how are you?
Gerry, Gerry, I was listening to you earlier saying you do the Derry, London Derry to Belfast run every Friday. And I was doing a road test there up Mollusk, and there's a DeLorean car for sale up at Wilson's Auctions here.
Yes, how much do you think that would cost?
It says auction on it, Gerry, so it's the highest bidder. I think if a few pound there, you might be the man for the car, you know.
How much do you think you would pay for a DeLorean car?
20,000 is the going rate, I
That's
think.
it.
20,000
You're
for
right,
DeLorean.
yeah, you're right. You know, that's, in a way, that's worth it, you know. That's worth it.
I think so.
I think so, because...
I'm an ex-employee. I'm an ex-employee as well.
are you?
I built hundreds, I suppose.
And there are many people who don't have that kind of money, but you know, and I apologise for saying that, but when I say it's worth it, it is worth it if you've got that kind of money to spare, because, as you well know, there are lots of spare parts all over the place.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's no lack of spare parts. That's one thing about that. One of the things that would make you hesitate to buy an old car would be the fact that you mightn't be able to get parts, but that's not the case with the DeLorean. You're going to buy it.
It'll never rust either, Jerry.
No, I would love one. Paddy Keelty has one. He had one. He had one. I think he sold it. Somebody.
So did Rod Stewart and Elton John.
I
They had gold-plated ones.
I drove one time. It was fantastic. It's very hard in the steering. Of course, there's no power steering, of course.
But there's some history of the car as well, as you know, Jerry.
It's a great feeling sitting in one of them.
Yep.
And just away you go. I drove one for a short period up in, where was it, Moira or somewhere. And I loved it. But you have to be careful going around the corners. Do you know the way you're used to just giving a wee swing on the wheel?
No, I know that.
You have to give her a bit of a hock, don't you?
You do indeed.
You have to know
I used to sit in night shift and have my lunch in a DeLorean every night for about a year.
Well, have you never owned one?
No, but I put them together.
Well, do you think you might? Do you think you might go
It's
for
always
this
been
one?
my dream, Jay. Seen it there going past that road test I was doing there, and I said, "My God, imagine the DeLorean sitting so close to where I'm working."
You see, if that's an auction, you might
people
get it.
know.
You might get it maybe for 15,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you have that kind of money to spend on a car? Do you?
I have indeed. I could.
Well, good man, good man. Well, you deserve it then.
Well, Jay, I thought you deserved it because you're travelling down from the big city up to the Belfast every Friday, and you could hit the time machine and you could be there in minutes.
You're there in 4 seconds. It's a great car.
Jerry.
That's a great car. Listen, thank you very much indeed.
All the best now.
Bye.
Good luck.
Bye. Did you ever drive a DeLorean?
Yes.
These are absolute.
Did you ever drive a DeLorean?
Bob Redman called into reception there, and he left in buns, cake pastry, and I can tell you now,
Who did he leave them? Who did he
fresh
leave them?
cream.
Who did he leave them for?
Well, Janet and I are eating them.
But who did he leave them for?
Oh, it just left them in for the show, so the show's eating them. The show, you have no idea how
Come the
nice
show
they
doesn't?
are.
How come the
That's
show doesn't
news.
reach in here?
It must have been an absolutely terrifying experience, and my heart goes out to him and his family.
3 women have escaped injury after a petrol bomb attack in Coleraine. It was thrown through the kitchen window of a house in Cypress Drive last night. There was some scorch damage to the property. Airlines are warning that there could be gridlock at Britain's airports this Easter because of delays to security checks. They've told the Home Secretary, Theresa May, that passengers may face severe congestion because of staff shortages. Matt Trewern reports.
According to a memo sent to a committee of MPs by Virgin Atlantic, passengers flying in and out of Britain's airports over Easter could be facing gridlock. In a separate letter to the Home Secretary Theresa May, 11 airlines are warning that there are not enough Border Force staff to check the passports of everyone coming into Britain, as the government requires. They say ministers have to either recruit more staff or relax restrictions on immigration checks. The Border Force says although it always aims to keep disruption to a minimum, it will not compromise border security.
Bad weather is causing problems in the north of England. 40,000 homes in North East England and Yorkshire have lost their electricity supplies after wind, ice and snow brought down power lines. Another 9,000 customers in North Derbyshire have been cut off. Durham police say up to 40 vehicles are stranded on the A68. Sport now, here's Joel Taggart.
Thanks, Keith. It'll be confirmed shortly that the Cuban Olympic boxing team will use Northern Ireland as the base for its training camp before going to London for the Games this summer. In golf, Rory McIlroy and Graham McDowell have decided to join world number 1 Luke Donald in sitting out tonight's par 3 tournament at the Masters. No player has ever won the main event after winning the traditional curtain raiser. Open champion Darren Clark will take part. In cycling, Wendy Hoovenhagel has been left out of the British team that will defend the team pursuit title at the World Track Championships in Melbourne tonight. And we'll find out later today if Ballymena United or Newry City will play Linfield in the semi-finals of the Irish Cup.
On to the weather, and Elizabeth Austin has the details.
Good morning. It's a chilly start to the day, but it will be bright and sunny for much of the day. Temperatures getting up to 7 degrees Celsius in Belfast. That's 45 in Fahrenheit. Those temperatures tempered by that strong northeasterly breeze at times. Some more cloud building into the afternoon and clear skies overnight. Temperatures dropping to -1 degree Celsius.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
The M2 Nelson Street off-slip has been closed following a traffic collision, so please avoid the area. And the Moyad Road on the Kilkeel side of Spelga remains closed following an earlier collision there. In Castlereagh, the traffic lights are still out at the junction of the Milltown Road, Purdysburn Road and Hospital Road, and also at the junction of the Beaver Road and Milltown Road. And finally, at the seaports, all P&O Express sailings from Larntroon and Cairnryan have been cancelled today, but conventional sailings are operating. Aileen Moyna reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, have you had a parking ticket lately? 126,000 of them handed out last year. Tell me about yours, and we'll have the places most likely to get one and where you can park without any chance of a sticker on your screen. The Wozniacki factor. Will that get our Rory into the green jacket this weekend? Having a girlfriend who's fit, feisty and a former world #1. Also today, Boris and Ken scrapping in a lift, both running for London Mayor. Would you let either of them even drive a Ballymena-built London bus? And Panda Cam Day 2. Is there still time for the McPandas to get it together? In privacy? Join the debate. Talk back at 12.
Thanks, Wendy. Look at that. Look, there's that photograph of that DeLorean. It's an auction on Thursday, the 12th of April. That's next Thursday at Mollusk. It's a private auction, apparently. A gentleman, a gentleman who died and left a collection of classic cars. Some lovely ones there. But look at the DeLorean. Look at that. That's a beauty. There's only 16,000 miles up on her. And she's not, there's 16 miles, and they make me genuine mileage. It's not checked, it says. And there's automatic new water pump, VANSCEDT 26T1 MOT to the 23rd of August 2012, and just a one-woman driver. She hardly put a foot in her.
Has the spare tyre been used?
The spare tyre's been used, and the toolbox is unopened, and there's overhead tram shaft. What do you call that? Overhead camshaft. There's overhead fuel injection system, and. Listen, it's a while since we heard a pygmy singing in this programme. Let's rectify that now. Overhead camshaft fuel injection. Genuine mileage now. Genuine mileage.
Is she easy on the juice?
She's easy on the juice, just a one-woman driver, and she was a nun. Hardly put a foot in it. It was garaged all day and all night. It was covered over. The big end was gone, but it was replaced there. Replaced by a second-hand one, but it's just as good as new one. Big guy is the same as good as another. I think it's just right. The soul of the man with a cap.
when the wind was still, Daddy brought the baby to the windowsill to see a bit of heaven shoot across the sky. The one and only time Daddy saw it fly. It came from the east just as bright as a torch. The neighbors had a party on their porch. Daddy rocked the baby, mother said amen when Hallie came to visit in 1910. Now back then Jackson was a real small town, and it's not every night a comet comes around. It was almost 80 years since its last time through, so I bet your mother would have said amen too. As its tail stretched out like a stardust streak, the papers wrote about it every day for a week. You wondered where it's going and where it's been when Hallie came to Jackson in 1910. Daddy told the baby sleeping in his arms to dream a little dream of a comet's charms. And he made a little wish as she slept so sound. In 1986 that a wish came round. It came from the east just as bright as a torch. She saw it in the sky from her daddy's porch. As heavenly sent as it was back then when Hallie came to Jackson in 1910. Late one night when the wind was still,
That's two nice pieces of music. Before that, we had the first one was Deep Forest, a song called Sweet Lullaby from an album called Deep Forest by a band called Deep Forest, who are pygmies and basically from the Congo. And the second one was Mary Chapin Carpenter from an album called Shooting Straight in the Dark when Hallie came to Jackson. Of course, Halley's Comet, which flew above the earth in 1910. I always remember the...
Flew above the earth, that's good. There's a couple of questions. No, it's all right. It's interesting. That it
flew above the earth. There's other places it could fly, you know. There's other places it could fly above Saturn.
There's three questions for you, if you don't mind. One, could you give the information again on the DeLorean? Where is that auction? Where's it been held and when? Are you going to answer that one? All right, that's that one. Gentleman says if he were to buy that DeLorean car at auction, can he drive it here?
Why not?
That's what he asked. I know. He thinks that they're only for the American market. I
was driving it in Moira.
Yeah, but you might have been a private road.
Moira?
Yeah, but it might have been
it was the main street in Moira. I drove up and down.
I don't know.
I'm just telling you.
But the police may have given you permission. You know,
they didn't give me permission. I just got into the thing and
drove it. You can drive it.
Yeah, if you've got a license and you're insured, of course you can. Why can't you? If it's MOT'd.
All right. Well, what about the first question? Where's the auction?
All right then. Don't be so touchy.
And then there's a third question.
Don't be so touchy.
It's from Janet.
Right. Okay. What's the third?
You want Janet's question?
Yeah. Okay.
If you park your DeLorean, you drive into your garage. How do you get out of your car?
Good point. No, but you see,
or if you're in a multi-story car park. How do you get out of the car?
Well, you see, the gull wing essentially is a gull wing. It just goes straight up. It doesn't go out, like, really.
Well, I mean,
it basically goes straight up.
No, does it go up?
It doesn't go
and then out.
It doesn't go out. Yeah, it doesn't
yes,
go
it
out.
Does.
It doesn't go out all that far.
It would go out far enough to hit the boy next door.
No, you have to get room to get out of your car, right?
Yes.
If you get into your garage, and you can get out of your car, you'll be able to park your DeLorean there because what you need to get out is all the door needs to open. For God's sake.
Well, Janet, that's a good question.
Janet, she's a woman. What would she know?
Well, what about your auction?
What about it? I can't look that up.
You just have to read it.
The comet flew over Earth.
Well, what about...
I always remember...
What about the auction? There's a man waiting. The man wants to go and bid.
People always say to me, sometimes people... Do you know the way people have got a strange notion of, of people in Derry? Because people don't understand people in Derry. And sometimes people ask me, what are Derry people like? And I said, no, they're fine. Nothing wrong with them. And they said, are they not a bit kind of... They don't really realise that there's anywhere else apart from Derry. I said, no, you mean are they kind of insular? I said, no, they're not like that. And then I say, well, then again, I remember one particular headline I saw in the local paper called the Derry Journal. Do you remember this? Do you remember the Halley-Bopp comet? Mm-hmm. It said in the journal, comet over Derry.
Yes.
It was 55 million miles away. It was over everywhere. So is that an example of maybe being insular? Of being...
Did you open your bag?
Not yet. No. Why?
Did you?
No. What bag?
The bag that the man
The bag
left
that you left in?
Yes, the man, Bob
This
Redmond.
bag here?
Bob Redmond left you in buns.
Now, what would you call those now? They're nice.
I know.
But I have to ask you this. What do you call these?
It's
a
an
pastry.
apple slice, I think it is.
It's not an apple slice. It's cream in it.
It's an apple puff, Janet said.
Thank you, Janet. It's an apple puff. Now, I'm holding in front of my hand
yes,
an apple puff. Now, I see inside a
I
lot
know
of
your
cream.
It's fresh cream.
Are you serious?
Yes, I've had one. Aren't they beautiful?
Oh.
Aren't they beautiful? What about a wee cup of tea? I'm eating that with you. It's beautiful, isn't it?
That's not fresh cream.
It is.
It's not.
It is. Janet, edit. It says.
It's not fresh cream.
It's fresh cream.
I'm telling you, it's not.
It is.
Hold on a second.
It's fresh cream.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
You know. Would you thank the man? Wonder what bakery they came from. Aren't they nice? Oh, the auction's at Mollusk in Newton Abbey. Could you tell us the date?
No. Oh, yeah. It's next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
The 12th of April.
All right.
And you can view the cars at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the auction is at 6:30 at night. Okay? You can view...
Isn't it nice?
Those flakes are hard to eat.
But they're
lovely. I'm not sure that's fresh cream.
It is.
Do you know what's confusing me? The jam in it. The jam is mixing itself up.
You get jam in yours?
Yeah, indeed. Christy Moore, speaking of Derry Stroke...
Does the DeLorean have a tow bar? Tony asks.
Christy Moore is playing an extra night in Derry Stroke Londonderry on the 1st of June. Someone was looking for tickets, so there's an extra night on the 1st of June. People may not know that. Now, you know how passionate I am about saving hens.
Davey's on one.
Mm-hmm. So a lady writes to me and said, after a beautiful weekend with the girls, I see we're back to winter weather. This morning I opened up the coops, and there was silence. Not even a beak appeared through the pop hole. The girls definitely prefer sunny weather. These are the hens that have been rescued from the egg farms. Anyway, we have now completed 5 successful rescues, and our next rescue date is Saturday, the 21st of April. Please could you ask your listeners to visit the website to see the work that we do, and if anyone can give some beautiful ex-working girls a home, ask them to complete the form on the Home Some Hens page. Now, what this is, I keep explaining this, but for the benefit of people who do not know, there's a wonderful group of people, a bunch of women, who actually go up to battery farms and save hens, because these hens are kept for egg-laying purposes, and because they're in such bad condition, and nobody cares what condition they're in as long as they produce an egg now and again, what happens is after a certain time they stop laying eggs, and whenever they stop laying eggs, they are disposed of, so to speak. In other words, they're killed. But if you go up and say, give us them hens, the man will give them to you. So these people will do that. So what they do is they get all the hens and they bring them out and they ask people to take them, because after a couple of weeks they regain their health and they become ordinary hens and they lay eggs. And for the first time in their lives, they go out and they walk around and they see the sun and they breathe the air and they peck at a little grass. And apparently it's a wonderful thing to see. It's like giving something life. So the email address is nuthousehenrescue.co.uk. nuthousehenrescue.co.uk. And I've got another number here. I can't do that. Right? Okay.
A man asked me to ask you this question.
No. Yes.
What's the only animal that can't look at the sun or look at the sky?
A worm.
Can't look directly up.
Thank you. Bye.
The only animal that can't look directly up.
Somebody said something in your ear.
No.
No, you think
I
of
just
it.
remembered something.
All right, well, don't share it with us.
There used to be a man.
Don't.
No. There used to be a man who used to come to the Floral Hall. Do you remember the Floral Hall?
No.
You do remember the Floral Hall. The Floral Hall, no, of course you don't. The Floral Hall, I don't know if it's... Yes, it is. I don't know if it's there or not, but the people used to have dances there. And and bands used to play there. And I used to like it because one of the things I liked about the Floral Hall would be... It was great because, you see, if you were in the Floral Hall, it was next door to the zoo, you see. And what happened would be, if you kind of were leaving a young lady home, providing she lived round the back of the hall. In other words, if you said to a young lady, would you like some air? Oh, yes.
And you never said that to anybody.
It's a euphemism.
Do you want some air?
It's a euphemism, okay? I'm trying to keep it clean here.
Yeah.
I'd say, would you like to go out for a wee walk and get some air? And they'd say, all right. See, what would happen would be you'd walk outside and you go round and you say, what a lovely night.
I've never heard of anybody going outside.
That's a euphemism.
But I'm talking about, did, go on.
If you're in a band.
Aye.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're playing in a hall like that.
Yeah.
And the guys are packing the equipment.
This is the band doing it.
The band.
Ah,
I'm in the band.
Yeah, right.
So you're not going anywhere.
Right.
You're getting into the van, you're going away to Dublin or whatever you're doing. So you say to the girl, listen,
I know what you're saying.
We're going away now in half an hour. Do
Yes.
you fancy a little walk?
Yeah.
You see? And, you need a wee walk to exercise yourself, after a night like that.
Yeah.
But what would happen would be you go round the back of the Floral Hall and then you'd hear this. And then the girl go, Jesus! And leap into your arms. You know what I mean? Game, set and match. Because you hear the lines.
But she should have her coat on.
Stop it. Anyway, there was a man used to... Well, you see, the giraffe would come out and took her coat off. And now you hear and that's just me. You hear the monkeys and the lions and what kind of sound does a giraffe make?
Oh, sure, I wouldn't know. Do they not spit at you?
No, I think they go
tut tut tut
because they see what you're doing. Anyway, the only animal that can't look up. It reminded me of the man who used to be a caretaker. God love him, and he's probably gone now. And he was the caretaker of the Floral Hall. And he had, how can I put this? He had a bit of a hump in his back, right? And it's an unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
No, an unfortunate thing, but that's the way it was. Yeah. So he couldn't look up. So what we were terrible people. We used to say, "What's that? What's that in the roof there? Look, what's that?" And he'd try, Jesus, what? And he'd have to practically lie down the ground. You'd say, look, there's a light going to fall. Look, that light's going to fall. That's going to kill somebody. Where? What? And he used to have to practically lie on the floor to look up. He's the only person I know that can't look straight up. Anyway, go ahead.
Do you not know?
The only animal that can't look straight up? Go on, tell me.
Well, this is what he said.
What is it?
A pig.
A pig? Of course a pig can look up.
Can't.
A pig can't look up at the sky.
Pig can't lift its head up.
Of course it can.
He said it can't. You never had pigs, you don't know.
I know enough about pigs to know you can see them looking up.
No, they don't.
Of course they look up.
No, his head's rigid, solid down, pointing down. Okay. And his wee eyes are at the side of his head. He can't look up, he can't lift his head up.
Gerry Anderson show.
I mean,
if you can't lift his head up or he can't see up?
If you came behind a pig...
I don't think I'll be doing that soon.
No, you were to scare a pig. You know what I mean? He wouldn't throw his head up and say... So apparently a pig can't lift its head.
Just as well. You mightn't like what it sees if you're coming behind him.
Davy's on one.
All right, then. So tetchy. Hello, good morning, Davy.
Good morning.
All
right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Good morning, Gerry and Sean.
I'll speak for him. Good morning.
I would like to invite the two of you now. I'm doing a big cycle run on the 22nd of April for my charities.
Yeah.
And it's a 50-mile run or a 15-mile run. But there's tandems involved for the Blind Centre in Coleraine.
Yeah.
And you're most welcome to come that morning to start it off for me.
A cycle, a tandem.
It's a fun day plus a more serious one through the Ban Wheelers.
Yeah.
A 50-mile run around from Coleraine, Port Stewart, Portrush, right round the coast and back to the town hall again. There's refreshments and all afterwards.
Oh, what date is that?
It's Sunday, the 22nd of April.
Oh, no, I'll be away, unfortunately, but Sean will be here.
And registration is from 8:30, and the minimum fee is £10.
All right.
9 charities in the go: Callum's Chance for Sight, the Blind Centre, Friends of Willowbrook, Spina Bifida, the River Band Community Boat, Defibrillators at the Heart of Every Game, Northern Ireland Children to Lapland, Ulster Cancer, and Chest, Heart and Stroke.
So how can the people take part in that? How do they?
All they do is phone 028 703 42391, and you can registration on the morning from 8:30. We're hoping to get about 200 to 300 cyclists out and have a good day's fun.
All right then. Well, I wish you all the best of that. Unfortunately, I won't be there, but Sean can't go anywhere because you might have to.
Also a golf day at Castlerack on the 4th of May, and all you do there is phone up Castlerack Golf Club for a tea time.
What about that? Are you interested in that? Castlerack Golf Club.
What day is that?
That's a Friday.
See,
no good deal.
No.
Anyway, we'll see what happens anyway.
And, Gerry, if you let your listeners know, I've got a Manchester City shirt completely signed by the full team, and I'm auctioning that off for my charities.
Good man. All right then. Well, I hope you have all the success, and we have those numbers here if anybody has missed them. Best of luck to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
Not at all. It's a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. What a nice man. Nice mannerly man.
Yes.
Not the type of man we usually get here.
Yes. No, I noticed he said April.
April. Geordie says April.
Yeah.
That's an Ulster Scots thing.
Is it?
Yeah, April. Yeah, I like it.
So do I.
The 24th of April. No, they put the emphasis on the second syllable. The 24th, but he didn't do that. But Geordie puts the emphasis on the second syllable. He'll say the 24th of April.
Does he?
April? He does, yeah.
Let's dance. Put on your
should have played that the other months of the year. August.
Let's dance to the song
July.
playing on the radio.
Of course, we do that anyway.
Let's sway while color lights up your face. Let's sway through the crowd to an empty space. If you say run, I'll run with you. If you say hide, my love for you would break my heart in two. If you should fall into my arms, tremble like a flower. Let's dance for fear your grace should fall. Let's dance for fear tonight is all. Let's sway. You could look into my eyes. Let's sway under the moonlight, this serious moonlight. And if you say run, I'll run with you. And if you say hide, we'll hide. Because my love for you would break my heart in two if you should fall into my arms and tremble like a flower. Let's dance, let's sway, let's dance, let's sway.
That's Paula Flynn, Let's Dance, and she's been overdue to come into the studio and do a bit of a session for us. I hope she comes in soon. Look, Seamus Heaney's writing to me again. Will you tell him, for God's sake? It's just this every week now.
Are you keeping those letters? They could be valuable in years to come.
I don't know. Look, he's written another poem.
Let's hear it.
We'll have to read it. Reminiscing, looking back, I see again the old turf stack, and this would kill a horse, I hear my mother mutter, feet firmly planted, churning butter. My father, a hard-working man, hoe in hand, throws me a dirty look. You've always got, my father said, your head stuck in a book. He doesn't understand the pen in my hand is more mighty than the hoe. I will earn more dough with pen, not hoe, than all the cares pinks that he can grow. All great poets are orphans. They outgrow their parents. The poet stands alone from the crowd. I am the observer, not the sun. No time for fun. I study those below my station, scrutinise, make observation, and tally-ho, and ding-dong nell. Pussy, don't go near that well. I am the anointed one. I have been touched by the hand of God. The brain cells have been lavished upon me. If I were any smarter, I would cut myself. I am unique. Don't speak of Byron, Keats, and Yeats. They grovel humbly round my feet. So man the rigging, set the sail, catch the monkey by the tail. My brother Francie, said an old man, fought in the Spanish Civil War. In a drawer written on vellum, General Franco speaks well of him, Francie McGinty, for over the seas scared the Tiresias out of me. And yet he fell, some say with a yell, in the rushes near Madrid. A señorita thanked my father for what our Francie did. St. Patrick's Day at the White House, I took it in my stride. It was no more than I deserved. President Clinton, grey hair glinting, said the Irish were the greatest people in the world. Aye, the greatest people in the world, poor deluded leader of the free world. He'd never met Charlie Hockey, a man who'd steal the shirt off your back in the morning and come back for your drawers at night. I have seen it all. Seamus Heaney's getting better. I've seen it all, only in Donegal can I be myself, let my hair down, loosen my stays, bogland snipe, oh gladden my days, in Bundoran the wild Atlantic roaring I saunter down the street, devoid of woolen gansey, flip-flops on my feet, I smile at one, I smile at all, chilling out, having a ball. I remove the spiteful critic's scars by a spin or two on the dodgem cars, the sparkling pole, attached from roof to car. The spitting, sparkling, vertical pole can give you quite a scare. Remember the vertical pole and the dodgems? You hang on to the pole, and the attendant would sit on he'd stand on the rim of your bumper car.
And hold on to the pole.
Hold on to the pole. That sparkling pole. Hey up! The muse is gone. No more today. So until we meet again, this is Seamus Heaney saying, keep the aspidistra flying. Good luck, and keep it lit till we get out.
Cleanse
chance of jumping off a bridge. You're stealing candy from the kids in a laboratory. Evil X, 6 scientists are hard at work by fjord in Scandinavia. They create the latest mania. Every single song is calculated by the money makers, and it drives me
We were talking about Rory Gallagher earlier on, the man who's in Lanzarote. Well, he was he wrote that song and recorded Jimmy Sells Watches, which is another wee thing about email about that in the pipeline. And that's the band that he was in here called the Revs, who were by far, I think, the best group about. Of course, nobody bothered about them. Everybody was running after 5 ants. There we go. So we had to go away. All the good bands have to go away. Hear me talking now?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny I get like that sometimes.
There's a wee call for you.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it on? 1, 2?
Anne's on 1.
Is she? Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gerry.
Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Great, thanks.
Yes. I just want a wee mention. We're doing a farmer's market out here in Feeney.
Yes, Feeney. Is that County Derry, just out the road from where we are?
Yes, County Derry. It's in between Claudie, Park and Dungiven.
A fine selection of villages.
It is, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been running this farmer's market for about a year now, so this is our first birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having it on Easter Saturday. We're having a petting farm.
Oh, lovely.
With all strange animals.
What kind of strange animals?
We've got llamas, alpaca,
right?
Pygmy goats.
Pygmy goats?
Pygmy goats, and we're having a wallaby.
A wallaby? Oh, I'd never seen a wallaby.
Well, a wallaby from Australia, and it's called Skippy. Because they couldn't get a kangaroo.
Kangaroos are too big and they're quite rough kangaroos. I've seen a kangaroo now. Kangaroo, you need to watch yourself around a kangaroo.
I've seen one of them myself over there, yeah.
They give you a bit of a kick, sometimes if you're not very careful. But a wallaby's a smaller thing and less dangerous, I would imagine.
Well, that's not too bad because the kids will be petting them. So
So that's lovely. So that's on Easter Saturday. So where is that? In
out
Feeney?
in Feeney, and it's part of it's indoors, so you not get too wet if it rains.
I can tell you're not a native.
I'm not, no. How did you notice that? You're really quick, aren't you?
You can't put nothing past me, I'm telling you. What happened? Did you marry a man from down there, or what did you do?
No, I actually married a Sligo man. And landed in Feeney.
Oh, my God. It hasn't been good for you. It hasn't been easy for you,
I'm
has
here
it?
over 30 years. My mum's from Feeney, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is she still alive?
She is, yes.
And she lives in Feeney?
She lives in Feeney.
Oh, for God's sake. That's fantastic.
So...
That's great. So we urge people to come along. Where exactly is that in Feeney? I know it's not a big place. But
right,
where
it's
exactly?
on the main street.
Oh, right.
There is only one street. You can't miss it.
So if you want your child to have close contact with a wallaby, a alpaca, or indeed a llama, that's the place to go on Saturday.
Oh, and we've got Roger Rabbit as well coming.
All right, okay.
Right, he's meant to be a massive big rabbit, and he's real.
Real?
He's real, yeah.
How big is he?
I think he's about 2 foot, 2 or 3 foot.
That's big for a rabbit.
Yeah.
Is that up or across?
Well, depends how much he ate that morning.
Is he a big fat lump, is he?
He is, yeah.
Oh, I love fat rabbits.
Oh.
And are there other stalls as well,
There's
food
stalls,
and stuff
right.
like
We've
that?
got home baking, we've got organic foods, we've got somebody from Draperstown who makes hurls.
Yes. Mix what? Sorry, mix what?
Hurls.
Pearls.
Hurly bats.
Okay.
Hurly
right.
sticks, rather.
All right, then, okay.
Jewellery makers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a women's group out here having a raffle. Oh, we've got traditional music. We've got local traditional artists coming.
Now tell me you've nobody on stilts. Please tell me that.
No.
That's the one thing I can't stand.
Unless you want to do it now.
No, thanks. No, I'm quite tall enough.
Right.
All right, well, the best of luck to Easter Saturday.
Hang on, I've got to mention two people in the office because they're going to kill me because they helped me organise it.
Go ahead.
You've got Karen Curlin.
Yes.
Production, whatever she does. I don't know what
whatever
she does.
it is she does, yeah.
Right. She's a promoter and she does all that stuff. And we've got Margaret O'Neill.
Uh-huh.
She's the chief dishwasher.
Okay. Well, the best of luck to you, and I hope the weather stands up for you. I mean, have you checked it out? Is it going to be a good day? Is the weather going to be good?
No, it's going to be dry. Hopefully it'll be dry anyway.
Oh, dry is the main thing. You don't care if it's cold or as long as you don't care as long as it's not wet.
Yeah, and if you want to come out and get a few cakes and stuff, you're welcome.
All right, then. I might just do that because it's within range.
Yeah.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
All right, Gerry.
Okay, bye-bye.
Nice talking to you.
Bye.
Bye.
I have a thing about people on stilts.
I'm the same as you.
I can't stand them.
I'm the same as you. I watched the.
You know when they come over to you and lean down?
The
I want to hit them.
Titanic Centre, and there were people walking about with stilts. And do children look at them and marvel at them, or what's the point of stilt walkers?
Have you got a thing about them?
I don't like it. What's the point of that?
No, it's not. It's not that there's a point. You can tell the point, but it's just that I don't like them. I always want to hit them. I don't know what it is. You know when they lean down and go, hello, I just want to thump them. It's like, do you remember that film where Woody Allen met the mime?
How do they get up on them?
Good point. I think they sit up in somebody's window.
But how do they do it? You can't put them on up the stairs
and come down. No, you can't.
There's
do
another
that.
call. James is there. Oh, James is waiting on you.
I have to do something now. I'll go to him in a minute. Just give him a couple of minutes. Can he wait 2 minutes?
I took my love, took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older too. Ah, take my love, take it down. Ah, climb a mountain and turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, where the landslide will bring it down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, a landslide will bring it down. Oh, the landslide will bring it down.
That's Fleetwood Mac, of course, Landslide, from an album called The Very Best of Fleetwood Mac, which continues It contains, 2 discs with 36 songs. Great. Is the station pinking today?
No. Do you know something?
The station is pinking.
Do you know something you never see?
What?
No.
A pig looking up?
No.
What?
Besides that?
Have we established can a pig look up?
We don't think so.
I've had no interest in it.
No, same as this. But do you remember men used to cup their hands together and blow in and whistle, make a...
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
And under your 2 thumbs. Can't do it.
I have to confess, you're the only person I've ever saw.
Did you never try that when you were at school?
No.
You never tried your wee boy?
I never
on the street?
I never saw any reason for doing it, unless my hands were cold. Janet, what's he doing?
I'm trying to make a noise, a whistling noise.
What kind of noise do you expect to come out of it? Almost like an ocarina? That kind of thing?
Men used to... Men could whistle tunes through their hands.
I've never seen men doing that.
Oh, yes.
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen?
I haven't witnessed that. No, I haven't seen that. You're the only person I've ever witnessed doing that. And I'm wondering why you're doing it. What sound do you expect to come out of it? Obviously not that sound.
No, there is a noise.
Can I leave this with you for a while?
I'll tell you something else that I know you can't do. You can't do the not the conventional whistle where you pucker up your lips. You can't put your fingers in your mouth and do that whistle, or pull your bottom lip over your bottom teeth and whistle.
I can't do either of those things.
Janice says we should make the blade of grass as well too. You should put a blade of grass in between your hands as well too.
I'm just going to leave this now. I know there's no logical way to stop it, so the best thing to do is just turn off the microphone. There's someone on the line here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry.
Have you ever blown through your fingers?
Pardon?
It's okay. I'm sorry. I had to visit that upon you. I just thought maybe perhaps you'd be interested, but you're not the same way as I am. How are you today?
I'm well, thank God.
No, you have to think about it. You had to think about it there.
About it.
Yeah.
I haven't time to think about it, Gerry.
All right, so you feel as if you may be well.
Well, I'm well enough to do what I'm doing tonight, Gerry.
Okay.
Which is a week quiz, a pub quiz in Bellini's in Gerry.
Yes, Bellini's? That sounds...
Bellini's.
Is that Italian? Is that Italian?
Huh?
Is that Italian? Bellini's?
No.
Sounds Italian.
It's a pub restaurant.
Sounds Italian to
Don't tell
me.
me you never heard that of it. Oh, sure.
Where is it again?
It's in Gerry, Gerry.
No, I don't think I know of it, no. Where is it in Gerry?
Well, here, head down tonight at 9 o'clock.
Why would I do a thing like that? Leave the bosom of my family.
Huh?
Leave the bosom of my family and go to Newry at 9 o'clock.
But coming to the bosom of the Cancer Research family, Gerry.
All right then, okay.
Because I'm running a quiz down there tonight for cancer research.
Okay, all right then.
And every penny is for cancer research.
All right
which is vital these days.
Absolutely. So 9. What time do you start at?
They start at 9, Gerry.
Bellini's.
Bellini's.
Is that a pub or a cafe restaurant?
Both.
Both a pub and a cafe restaurant? Well, it sounds
Yes.
like a... Is it nice? A nice place, is it?
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, I'm going to go in there the next time. Where is it?
You come in there, Gerry, and I'll buy you a drink.
All right then.
You're in Newry.
Whereabouts is it when you drive into Newry? You drive past...
You know, now I'm sure you know where the Canal Court is.
I do, of course.
Right, just across the road from the Canal Court.
Ah, in the middle of the water?
Yes. Well, you might be going into the middle of the water coming out of it, but...
All right then. So somewhere near the Canal Court Hotel.
Yeah.
All right
and
then.
It starts at 9, Gerry, for 9:30, and there's £100 first prize plus every shop in Newry, which I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Gerry, has given me fantastic prizes.
Oh, good. So that's 9 for 9:30. Do you want to mention any of them? Of course, you better not mention one of them.
If I started, Gerry,
exactly.
you know, people were so kind to me. Okay. Shopkeepers, ordinary people in Newry. I was astonished at the response.
Newry's a Newry's a very friendly place.
Well, it's unbelievable.
Not really.
Huh?
What are you thinking? Yes.
Am I only thinking yes?
No, you have to think about things. You're not sure if it's friendly or not, are you?
No, I'm making myself coming back. Of course it's friendly, sure. Listen to me.
Newry's, I always regard Newry as being very like Derry. It's full of Catholics and near the border.
Oh, well, I don't know, sugar, what they are, Gerry. I don't care if they're Catholic
I know.
whatever any of that crap is. But I'm like yourself. I really like a bit of crap.
All right, then. So it's 9 to 9:30.
We'll be in for 9.
Okay.
And brilliant praises, Gerry.
All right, then. I hope you raise a lot of money. Okay.
And every penny is for cancer. Good wee night out. It'll be over early. And you'll be up in time for walk in the morning. So will everybody else, Gerry.
All right, then. Okay.
So come along and support us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gerry, very much. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Could you please ask Sean to stop talking with his mouth full and sucking his fingers? He sounds like a pig at the trough. I think that was me.
No, it was me.
Was it you? You've been the pig.
Both of us, actually, because we were eating those buns.
Two little pigs. Mary here. You may remember my email yesterday asking Geordie's advice how to stop a pony from biting. She is said to be 18 months old, 33 inches at the shoulder. As you said, I intend to save her from a fate worse than death, but I need some help. So question 1 is, how do I stop her from biting? Google yielded nipping her nose or kicking her in the shin. I don't like either of those ideas. Question 2, how do I get my Parson Russell... This programme, we are pinking today. I can hear myself pinking in my ears. Radio Ulster is pinking today. How do I get my Parson Russell Terrier to accept her in his garden for a few weeks, as she'll be there in quarantine after getting her vaccinations? He likes ponies well enough, but is very possessive. Once I know she's safe to mix with the other ponies, she'll be off to green pastures and the sun will shine for the rest of her days. I discovered her tied to a tree at a traveller's camp. The current owner tells me he saved her from a man who wanted to cut her leg off. I go every day to make sure she is fed and watered, and I hope to buy her this week. There we are. I need some advice. That's from Mary in France. Now, maybe perhaps we could talk to Geordie about that tomorrow. I'll keep that.
Cut the horse's leg off.
Yeah, I don't know why. Don't want to go down that road.
Good friend of your programme, James Devlin, who lives in Cookstown, would like you to say hello to his good friend Connor that he met on the bus yesterday.
All right.
James wasn't keeping too well recently, but just up and about now. What?
Jimmy sells watches. He also entertains in Murphy's Bar and sings The Fields of Athenry. This is the fellow who's supposed to perform in the Boran Bar in Puerto del Carmen. He also sings in Murphy's Bar. It seems to me that he goes round to all the Irish bars.
I know who that is.
A black guy.
I know him.
You'd see him. You'd be sitting there full. You'd see him coming in.
I'll tell you what he does.
He calls himself Jimmy Barry Murphy.
And I'll tell you what he can do. He will tell you every county in Ireland.
That's him. I told you that before. Why are you only hearing this now?
I never heard that. And he sings Irish songs.
That's
and he
him.
Comes in and he sells what? It's a great act he's got going. But he'll come up and he goes around, no matter what part of Ireland, and then he'll tell you all the neighbouring counties, and he can tell you about it and tell you the capital of that county. He knows Ireland inside out. And then, of course, he's selling you watches at the same time.
Obviously a very bright man.
A
good
act.
memory.
And then he sings a song. He sings songs.
Boyle Donahue, stuff like that.
He is... I'm not sure what he sings. But
He's
he
no
sings
mug, and he makes a fortune selling watches because he knows everything about all the counties.
That's correct.
And he says, this man says, I hate all this holiday snobbery. Oh, I wouldn't go there. I'm more yacht club material, that kind of talk. There's nothing wrong with Puerto del Carmen. There's plenty crack. Well, I agree. Nothing wrong with
the first time we met him, we were sitting in the bar, and we saw his act, you see, as it were. And he came up to us and he says, where are you from? And we told him. He says, aha! He says, do you know a milkman there called Willie Ferry? And we says, he's our milkman. That's amazing.
That's what I call local knowledge.
That's a guy who knows.
A guy on the Canary Islands who knows your milkman.
Yes.
Okay. Robbie Cutler phoned the station to say a big thank you. That's Robbie Cutler's the man who was on here yesterday who lost his two little black dogs. It was read out yesterday. He was reunited with them this morning.
Ah, great. I meant that.
I know you meant it.
Did you hear me?
There was genuine emotion there.
Yes, that's good. Because that man was... no, the reason I say that...
It was at the end of his tether.
I spoke to that man twice yesterday, and that man was really at breaking point. He was so upset. It was
That's
his daughter's
daughters and holidays.
Yeah, I was so upset.
If Sean is big into planes at airports, he should go to St. Martin in the Caribbean. The airport, Prince Juliana International, is right beside a beach, and the planes swoop low over the sunbathers, and when taking off, people hold on to the perimeter fence as the engine thrust blows sand into the sea. I wouldn't like that. Hanging on to your bikini there. Morning, Butch and Sundance. I was listening to Talkback, and Wendy said that Eamon McCann was going to stay in a 6-bedroom house in Cultra. That was the email I sent you. She's stealing your material. On a serious note, he said he lives in the Caribbean. I've become fascinated by the Barbados Irish of the 17th century and think it would make a great topic for you to do a programme or a series on. Do you remember I suggested this years ago?
No, you did not.
I did, not to you.
No.
I suggested this years ago about doing a programme about Montserrat, where everybody's called Mulligan and no shock to
No.
say, all the black people.
A man invited us out.
Do you remember that man's name?
That man's sadly no longer with us.
Oh, dear. Was that a pygmy goat singing aft the news great? To hear that Gerald Michael Anderson has upped his game and raised the musical bar to a place where even a pygmy could lilt under? Sarcastic. The Floral Hall is still there, due to be restored over the next 2 or 3 years, so Anderson may. Is Mike Nesbitt going to visit Geordie Tuft?
There's one for Mike.
That'll bring him down to earth. Eamon once sat in a DeLorean and he needed help to get out. Very hard to get out of a DeLorean.
There's a wee quick call for you.
I can't take it.
You can.
I can't take it.
You asked for it.
I can't. I didn't ask for it. I never asked for it in my life.
You asked for it.
Is it Geordie?
No.
Can you say hi to the judge from Barbados, home to Strangford for a few weeks break holidays? He's tuned in every day to the show to catch up on local culture and humour whilst at home. He wants to hear some Chris Isaacs. There we are. That's a lot of the messages looked after. Hello, good morning. Well, where's this person?
Two.
Sorry. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, is that Gerry?
Yes, who's that?
It's Willie, but we're
Willie Gregg.
Gerry.
Willie
Yes,
Gregg,
my
yes.
friend.
You wanted a wee bit of airtime to thank people.
Yes, indeed, I did, Gerry. I know you've only a few minutes left. But basically, Gerry, is just to thank everybody that has supported me for the last 7.5 years with Willie's Orphan Fund.
Yes.
And to thank yourself for giving me airtime and one thing and another. But even though all the doom and economical gloom of 2011, Willie's Orphan Fund is we're still up there, Gerry. We're still looking after the education of many children over in Thailand after the tsunami.
That's right, because people forgot about them, didn't they?
Yeah, well, I can't forget about them, and they certainly haven't forgotten about the people of the province, you know. And it's more or less a wee quick thank you. But as always, Gerry, I have loads and loads to tell you, but I know we were running out of time. But
well, go ahead, a couple of minutes, yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
basically, Gerry, a great percentage of your listeners have been supporting me with standing orders and direct debits since December 2004, and it's my only way of thanking them, because some of them are private and I don't even know their names, and some of them don't want any publicity. But basically, it's to thank them all, and they all know who they are, and they've even been adopted by Portrush Primary School here in Portrush as their adopted charity for 2012. And I've started off the Art Pals, which we've got children in Thailand swapping art with the children in Portrush, and hopefully that's going to lead to a lasting friendship, and goodness knows what will come out of it, you know.
Are you still down in the Harbour Bar in Portrush?
Indeed I am, Gerry. I'm easy found. I work there most days with a Y in it.
That's what I'm wondering. People who wonder who you are and wonder what you look like, that you can be found there. Anybody?
I can be found in the Harbour Bar most evenings. Unfortunately, in the wrong side of the counter. But yes, I'm the manager down there in the Harbour Bar. And if anybody wants to call in and ask about the foundation, I'm there. And if anybody wants any photographs of the kids, you know, any information, I'm easy found down there.
Or indeed a pint.
And most definitely the best pint in the province.
I have to say this: it's a great wee bar. It's a great wee bar.
It's a great wee bar. It's a pleasure working in it. It was probably founded around 1823, so it's one of the oldest watering holes in the country.
Oh yeah, it's great. So you're still carrying on though. You're not thanking people because you're thinking of giving it up, are you?
Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. 2011 gave me a good kick, you know, and. The projects that are going on, and there's even a slim chance that I'm going to have 6 orphans over in Portrush for the middle week in September.
Then they'll never go back.
Oh,
listen, Wally.
I won't want them to go back. I know rightly.
Wally, I'm sorry. We're going to have to wind it up now in a minute, Wally. Maybe perhaps you'll come on some other day. Sorry we kept it so late. But thank you anyway, and well done for all the good work you're doing. Okay.
Thank you, Gerry, and thanks for the airtime.
Not at all,
Anytime, Gerry, give us a buzz, and I'd be more than pleased to let everybody know what's happening.
Okay.
This is Talk.